this morning. Let's get some boom, baby. Boom. Rise. Morning marijuana motivation time. Your host with the most is Marquis Saint. My name is Francis Mark Saint Arnaud the Sixth, and I'm a narcissist. I've gone through tragedies and some trauma, and I've also gone through some recovery and some healing. I have my notes with me this morning. I'm going to sit here peacefully in the jungle with you. Hopefully, you can absorb this with me. Hopefully, if you're suffering from it or you've hurt someone from it, you can figure out why they did what they did. There we go. I was about to say, I'm not the Buddha. I don't know how to do any of these things perfectly. Part of me wants you to see the background, if you will. Let's see. Let's get you. Let's get it started in here. Yeah. Good morning. First of all, welcome. If you're watching, thank you. You don't have to spend your time with me. You have to force forward to the good parts, please. Hold on. Where's my bag? Gotta breathe. My nose is so stuffy. I can just hear it equalizing in me. Yeah. Yeah. Good morning. I start this show off with tears. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Um, they'll never forgive me. I love them. There are 5 steps to curing it. There are 5 individual steps I've been learning. Apparently, I'm already on step number 4. I've been seeing a psychologist for 2 weeks now. Oh, I can't breathe. I'll go through it. Anybody wants to learn it, I share it openly. I'm paying for my psychologist, or pro bono. I have to pay her back. I have to breathe. breathe. Goddamn. It's a lot. It's pretty much my first time crying since I had another abortion. I'm not the Buddha. I'm not special. And as much as I'd like people to believe I'm not perfect, with Saint's Addiction, I wanted to show my true colors, right? Like we all have a true side about us, and yeah, and these are my true colors. They're hard to show. You want to know why narcissists don't know? It's because you've developed a safety defense mechanism when you were just a child. And of course, all these primary caregivers or people that loved us the most somehow, some way altered us. Modeling is such a strong way of learning psychology. You were basically born modeling what you saw. You're repeating and mimicking the same type of treatment. So if I saw my father kick someone out of the house in black trash bags and put it in the trash as if that person was trash, it changed me, right? I had to realize, step one, I was so busy trying to make my ex a narcissist because I was confirmed, right? Like you take so many photos and you have this altered kinky life, and I feel like I don't know you. And as I was unraveling this person that I thought it was them, because I was like, can't be me. I have narcissistic tendencies. I was diagnosed at 19. But I thought that was just because you're talking about me. I go to the psychologist and the conversations are about me, or it's my show, right? I'm paying you to talk about my problems, right? Me. But we didn't get into any of these trauma responses or any of the jargon I'll throw at you, virtue signaling. I didn't know. Hell, I don't even think it was on the horizon 20 years ago. I think everybody's known about narcissism, and I think everyone has an ego. But how healthy was my ego? My ego, which we're going to call Francis, my actual legal first name. In the rest of this, we're going to call it Kill Francis, because it's a mantra that as I show up, let me get this the right words for you. As I show up in life, I have two choices. Come on, man. I have two choices. I can, when I'm listening, my choice is either to, I'm calling it affirming conversations, is when I'm in that conversation, I'm repeating the words back and adding one thing. Add one, but don't go on and on doing this internally. This is all an internal thing. This isn't me doing a Machiavellian technique. What can I get out of this person? Who are they to me? Blah, 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 right? Don't fill your void. Keep it basic. Your internal battle wants to speak more than listen. So I have to identify their emotions, gauge, respond a little. It's literally emotion versus context, right? It's a sense of impulse control. A lot of people, especially when you're narcissistic, it becomes such a thirst and a desire to be heard. Maybe you were suppressed as a child. Maybe you were neglected. The point of seeing a psychologist, the thing that was the step that I was missing is that these pains, these traumas, whatever you want to call it, only comes out in relationships. They do not come out at work. You can still play Machiavellian techniques. They do not hide conveniently because you are in love or you're feeling a certain type of way. We all have different attachment styles. We all have different love languages. We all have different zodiac signs. This conversation is about those that don't include others. You wake up and you're in your own world. I'm in my own world, right? Like, this is my world. There's no one around me, no one to change my thought pattern, and sitting still and sitting with myself and what I've been going through and growing through. Growing is such an important part of life that we forget it. I'm looking at all these trees that got chopped down recently. And we don't prune, we don't trim, we don't examine, right? All these things hide deeply inside you. It's an insecurity, it's an attachment, it's literally a psychosis because you watched your parents take advantage of other people or hurt other people or hurt each other. We learn these things. We model the behavior. The example leads the way, and then you wonder why the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Odds are you switched on your genetics. Let me see this. I think we talked about this actually. I think there's a study where you is that what it is? Finding approval outlets. I got 10 ways to end narcissism. Actually 11. She gave me an extra one. That's not it. That's not it. I'm trying to crack the code. That a lot of this leads to addiction. That because of this amount of pain that we feel, we look for it in other ways. Sexual outlets, substance outlets, and of course, um, attention outlets. Something comes over me when I'm in a conversation, like I want to lead, I'm gregarious, I know what you're going to say before you're even going to say it. I interrupt people, I disregard them, I go someplace else in my mind. Now, this mental switch is really different, I guess, than other people because I never lived in anyone else's brain. I can only see the outside, the after effects of me talking for an hour or 3 hours the other day, or talking with someone even for 5 minutes. I turn myself into a RoboCop. I scan like everyone else for safety. I judge like everyone else to understand who's in front of me. And then usually I can't wait to say what I want to say. And be like, oh yeah, I've heard about that before. I almost say the word I in the next sentence almost every time. You could be going like, oh man, I lost my luggage. Yeah, I lost my luggage once. Right back to me. Right back to me, right? You lost your luggage now. It's going down now. It's your story now. But I include my story now. I. It's so important. I'm so special. I deserve. I earned. I am entitled. This stems from my relationship with my mother. My mother is always going to have my back. You know, my mom loves me very deeply, even if I'm abusive towards her or it's a pseudo relationship, which is really gross. I'm the pseudo husband, right? Once my dad left, is the one she still calls Mark, even though my dad's name's Mark. So it's like a way to, he didn't leave me, I still have the son. And they wouldn't examine any of themselves. So I had to find this stuff on my own. How many failed relationships, how many abortions, how many violent ends to these relationships showed me the way that your relationship ends is the way that it was the whole time. That's fucking crazy. Mine ended violently in fear and scared. sorry. I do this honesty because I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to have more clarity. I've already gone to the acceptance phase. Like I said, we have to, one, realize that we're doing this. Most people will never know their own patterns. Most people will bury it. If you want to look at real pain, just go to your local bar. There are some people that are this close to having panic attacks. There are some people that are about to cry before they drink that beer. And there are some people that are definitely going to cry after they get their drink. We can't see the forest through the trees. We can't see their issues, but we can see them. You can tell, when a bartender's being a psychologist or someone needs a lending ear. We are trying to numb ourselves any which way we can. Ketamine, alcohol, cocaine. Please just don't let me feel the way that I'm feeling right now. There's an irregulation in my brain. That's why I called it Saint Addiction. There was a compulsion, impulse, control, or lack thereof. I want what I want. Me, now, now, now. I need more of your attention. I need more of your sexuality. I need more of your life. And in that entitlement, hey, my mom always gave me attention, you're not. We buck you down a little bit, right? Because that's what would happen to our parents. So you didn't get a good grade, not the favorite, right? Number one, number two, you number two. And it breeds contempt, it breeds inferiority, it breeds competitiveness. And since I am competitive, instead of building social skills and getting along with everybody, I didn't mind crushing my opposition. I didn't mind rattling off shit out of my mouth, talking shit. I'm actually really good shit talker, which is really passive aggressive. Let's let this car go by. Man. Well, here comes the morning truck routine. Oh, lordy lord. Got a little bit of weed, a little switchy goochie moochies, got a little bit of papers, got a loud truck going through my show, got people that don't talk to me anymore. And I gotta admit that he's narcissist too. The damage that we do, stonewalling, and name calling and actual physical abuse are all attributes for someone that's out of their own control. They thought that they had control because, well, your mom does what you want them to do. You convince people to do them what they want to do. Your maliciousness or Machiavellianness or even your manipulation tactics kick in, and you find yourself to be powerful, right? This is another part of the sauce, right? Like if you can get off on your own sauce. Step two is identification. If you can stay there, first you realize you're like, man, all my relationships are ending. I have no friends. I pretty much scared everybody away, but I think I'm the shit and it's all them, not me. Probably a narcissist. The second part was the identification. What type of narcissist am I? Am I a grandiose narcissist like your boy Marky Saint who loves his life? I love my life. I got these big muscles. I got these cute teeth. Look at me. I travel the world without no money, borrowing from my friends, and abusing women in relationships. There's so much of this shiny light that you want to shine. You want to be like, yo, I'm perfect. Everything's good here. Nothing to see here, folks. I haven't made mistakes my whole life, or I'm not perfect. Don't ever see me in that light. We're perfectly imperfect at most of these saints. I don't want you to see, my big old gut. I don't want you to see the truth of my abuse. I didn't want. There we go. And when you start to identify which version you are, you could be a malignant narcissist, you could be a grandiose narcissist, you can be, let me think in my mind how many there are. Covert seems to be the biggest one. If I could let's do this. My grandiosity was of that I pushed so hard in my life, that I accomplished so much, and I, lost a bunch of weight, and I work out, and I have this business, and I started it from nothing, and look at me now, bitch. I'm getting paper. That attitude had bred the seeds immediately for narcissism start to breed, because when you got hurt as a child, the primary caregiver wasn't there, walked away, and or didn't help, right? That doesn't help. When no one's helping, it doesn't help. And now we have to develop something on ourselves where I don't need somebody. This person hurt me, and they deserve to get retribution. They deserve to have a situation happen. They deserve um, my disrespect. They don't deserve my love, just like my parents did to me. You don't deserve my love. Conditional, a, a love condition where it's like, oh, you got good grades. Well, guess who's back up on the winner board? And you constantly go yo-yoing up and down with these people, and then you start to seek approval. You become a people pleaser, and then you also become a people killer. You literally can kill someone else's emotions because you've been killed before. You've had your ego shadowed alive, a narcissistic collapse, or exposed, because eventually you have to treat other people's like you want to be treated. When you start portraying out that negative energy, and you start treating people with any sort of way with some kind of contempt, or maybe you're trying to hide your shame and guilt, the thing that keeps this perpetrating is that shame and guilt. It'll stop you between level 1 and 2. You don't want to realize or identify, because then you have to apologize. That's the third one, is the awareness. You're like, oh my God, I've been hurting people, and the ones that I care the most about. This isn't just like some random fucking stranger, which in your judgmental narcissistic mind, you start to get judging, prejudging. They could be a millionaire, but you just think, I'm so slick, I'm only going to shake hands with the best. I'm only shaking hands with CEOs. They're the only one that knows. The weird part that I got out of this was that was my healing. This is the listening is the healing. I'm going to tell you right now, because what happens is you already know your stories, you already know what you're going to say, you already know what you're going to think. The cool part about putting that on pause inside myself is that now I get to hear a new story. Now I get to hear something I never heard before. I didn't even know was going to happen. And that's you. You as an individual, you as a person, the other person on the side of this screen, right? When you start talking, if I allow it to happen, right? Now that I'm learning about the response rates, and is this person being emotional, or are they being contextual? How am I going to respond? Or I'm going to take over and grab the mic, and then so I can feel that energy that they were giving me, that empathy, that sympathy. I'm grabbing that microphone from them, and now I'm monologuing, and everybody listen to me. I'm the center of attention. I really do this very well. There's this thing on. I think I'm on a show. I think I gotta perform, or show up and show out. Yeah, narcissism. It's weird. And we've all seen it. I'm sure I've seen other people do it too, where they were just like talking too much, or took over the conversation, or mm, just too much, man. When it's too much, it's too much. So, in being too much, I realized that they didn't feel like they're enough. And I didn't feel like I was enough. If I felt like I was enough, you are enough. You wouldn't mic hog. You wouldn't bogart the ball, bro. And we start getting loud. We start getting obnoxious. We cut people off. There we go. And in this lessons that I've been learning, right? Like all these people, all these things going on. My transformation and how the brain works, or what's going on, was to let people be people. You know, that I'm perfectly imperfect. I don't have all the answers. I for sure can get the answers if I listen. I for sure can feel better if I empathize with them. The lack of empathy is shocking, because you are so selfish and so self-centered that you can only calculate the person's energy or emotions after the fact. You're annoying me. You're the one riling me up. You deserve this chew out session right now. I'm fucking intense. I'm fucking pissed. I've been putting up with your shit for how fucking long? Blah 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 blah. No self-control. No concerns about your feelings because someone definitely talked to them that way. And this is how the karmic patterns, the nastiness, the negativity continues. It's because somebody close to them in their life, yes, yes, get the negativity away from me. Somebody in their life, we'll let this go by. I'm going to roll this joint with you. Yes, blessed. Somebody in their life didn't treat them, someone close to them, parents, loved ones, whatever, didn't treat them with a lot of respect. Didn't consider their feelings. In fact, probably did some kind of sexual act or a physical act and or a mental act about it is you don't know why you are the way you are. You just put on this facade, this mask, and everybody wears a mask. What mask you chose was probably a 5-year-old, 6 years old, and you said, okay, this is how I stay safe in these scenarios. I put up the air of confidence, even though I didn't really get it. And act I act tough, but I'm smoking tobacco and my weed. It's making me cough up in the morning. I'm using my dirty underwear to fucking blow my nose. Drives my girl crazy. I'm acting like a badass. Even though I lack self-control. There's so many signalings of these masks that we have. Don't look at me, look at my mask. Don't look at my actions. Listen to my words. That's why we end up becoming talkers, because we're a salesman. We convince you of things. We want you to believe what we believe because we believe it. What, you believe in a God? What God do you believe in? What, you want freedom outside of me? Who can be better than me? No one else tries harder than me. I'm the best at the best. I'm the most honest on YouTube, I would say. And I would say this stuff over and over again. I would say these things like I'm a genius. I'm gonna be successful. You know, as long as I win, everything is good. And unfortunately, you can't win without others. I have to say this. This is something that's very true, but we say alone faster, together better. And it's a concept that sure, you can go faster, you can go at your own pace, you can go where you want when you want. Boom, definition of success. Except for you add Tony Robbins in there, and his definition says with who I want. Now that with sounds very cocky, like with who I want. If you're too cocky, there will be no with. There will be no people around. You usually get into fights with them. They usually challenge your ego. And if they don't want to believe the fantasy that you're selling them or lying about, they don't want to act the perfect wife or do the things perfectly, and then by the way, they'll never be perfect. Endlessly jumping through hoops, walking on eggshells. This is the toxicity that we create. Now, I wouldn't know. I want to say, like, yeah, boom, let me go get narcissistic supply from her. No, it was like, this is real love. Oh my God, I met the woman of my dreams. She's so gorgeous. She's so nice. She's empathetic. She seems to have it all together. But she had a dark side too. Maybe she's a dark empath. I don't know. And I think there was some covert narcissism going on there too. So I could point the finger and go, oh, she was being abusive to me. I could point the finger that pointing it back on me. This is the difference. I had to put pauses on my causes. I had all gas, no brakes. And that's why I'm on step number 4. After I saw the awareness that after 2 abortions, 5 missed children, that I couldn't put all this on these women. You know, I wasn't financially secure. Oh, raise my baby for me. Oh, change your body for me, even though I'm disrespecting your body and being physical with it, even while you're being pregnant. Um, Enough's enough. And this is why narcissists have to stop, because in our world, we want to live in this perfect world that doesn't exist. This thing that we created as a child, like a make believe friend. And we talk to these people. This is why I name it Kill Francis, because when in these conversations, when I show up, right, I have to see the subtle intentions between each one of them. With Mark, he wants to show up. He's gregarious. He's got stories for days. You know what I'm saying? He's been around the world. You know what I'm saying? He's got some muscle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that way. Also, Francis, or I guess Francis shows up that way. Mark shows up and he's emotional. Um, he's friendly. He genuinely loves people. And where does that love go when I get angry? They ask this question all the time. Did the narcissist really love you? Yes, they really loved you. I'm trying to tell you right now. It was like real love to me. It could be real lust. It could be real obsession. Whatever it is, it's something that you want. You think it's something that belongs to you. Like you belong to each other. This is supposed to happen. See it through. Work through it. Um, we'll just heal each other. Well, that's why I'm in treatment, because there's nothing someone else can do for something that happened to me a long time ago. This is an old pain. This is an old wound. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I couldn't even fucking see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And because I couldn't see it, I couldn't treat it. Now I had inklings because I'd get in a lot of fights with people. I didn't understand why some people didn't like me in social situations, and of course these abortions was enough for me to be like, that's it, enough of the Mark show. It's not just me on this planet. There might be other people suffering from this disease, this diagnosis, this shameful act. That's what it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Get away from me, please. And in the shame and guilt that we all have, we hide. And with Saint's addiction, I wanted to pull myself around that mask and actually have coping mechanisms, actually have brakes on this really cool car, and actually have and learn empathy. Like, oh shit, this person's hurting inside, instead of this wall that comes up and be like, you could break your leg in front of me, suck it up, soldier, we gotta go. Not everybody thinks like that, Mark. Not everybody acts that way. That's not what everyone does, okay? So, pop quiz, hot shot. What are you going to do next time? Pop quiz, hot shot. What are you going to do next time you lose your temper? Right? What are you going to do next time somebody misunderstands you? Right? How are you going to handle your temper once it's already on the loose? And that's what ended up happening with me, right? I couldn't handle my own truth. I couldn't handle, come on, dang, my own energy, right? Like, my energy was so all over the place. There we go. My energy was so all over the place that I couldn't even track it, right? Like, this identification process wasn't going to be happening. And then to hold it in my heart that you've abused women, that you've lost children, you've forced them into abortions, you've intimidated them and scared them, was not the look. Like, how am I ever going to date again? Who's ever going to marry me? I'm broken. like severely damaged goods. And I know there's some other people that are like that, especially after like sexual assault and years of shame and guilt tripping. It'd be nice to find Jesus and they don't guilt trip you or something like that. The odds are you're going to probably bump into another narcissist. I remember when I lost my business, one of my friends was like, "You're a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me?" But he was just like, "Yeah, I don't hang out with losers, man." And I said, "Man, by failing, you learn how successful you are, right?" I was coaching him up on this, and I was like, "Man, failure teaches us about ourselves that we would never know if we always just kept winning, right? If it was always just touchdowns, rainbows, and butterflies, then you wouldn't understand how to get back up. You would never know because you never got back up, right? Like you just always, laid down or things happened to you and woe is me and I play the victim and it's all their fault. That act in itself, that amount of energy, keeps you from being responsible and changing. Because the truth of it is, I could just sit here and just tell you that, what was it to, when I'm attracted to someone impressing, can I respect them, resonate their emotions, stop personalizing, please me, you're not looking through two lenses, no self-hate, wanting to be right, emotional extremes. Oh, and the fifth process is, of course, process of working through it. That'll be the last 5 steps. So I'm already on step 4. I'm proud of myself. I'm already step 4. But you store inside you, don't fill the void, keep it basic. Your internal battle wants to speak more than listen. Identify their emotions, gauge, respond little, sense of control instead of how I am feeling. Ask, how are they? Take a step back. It's not about me. All right, so that in itself is the cure for narcissism. If I can get you to right to the bat, it's not how I am doing. It's how they are doing. You literally leave your internal body, this whole structure from your eyes that you watch and process information on the daily. You might even want to close your eyes and cut out 80% of the data so you can think clearly. And this is why we're meditating this morning. I didn't realize that my brain didn't work right. I didn't see that I didn't have empathy. Someone got hurt in front of me. My buddy jumped up and I didn't. The yawn test, if you're yawning and if you have empathy, you'll yawn with me. If you don't, where you at though? And how heartless can you be that your parents were heartless to you? They didn't give you the care that you deserved. And now you went through some pain as a child and now you're causing pain as an adult. And your whole experience will be racked and riddled with abuse and substance abuse or sexual abuse or mental health issues. This shit's fucking real, bro. And I'm her 5th person, actually. I said, how many people are you seeing with narcissism? She said 4. I'm like, she said, you're number 5. I'd like to get to level 5. That would be fucking dope and just get done with these things. But the truth is that all these years, right? All this damage has added up. Like, I don't get to walk away from it. I don't get to just disregard it. I don't get to be like, well, now that I know it's about my mom and my dad, it's all over. No, bro, there's so many levels to this shit, bro. There's so much work that needs to be done. I have so many other appointments and psychology sessions with this lady because I am unpacking it. I am going backwards in my journey and looking back at what's stopping me. It's almost like stopping a car trip to add air in the tire. You already have air in the tire. You've been rolling for thousands of miles. But with stopping and adding air, now all of a sudden you get better gas mileage, the tires feel better on the road, la la la. Like, there's so many benefits of stopping and examining it, but most of the time we're still chasing. If you're not enough, then you're for sure going to go chase. You for sure going, it's outside of me, it's outside of me, it's outside of me. I gotta go outside, I gotta go get it, I gotta go get that back. How many people that are like that? And they don't seem less stressed. They seem stressful. They seem chock full of stress. And that'll be another way of how you handle it. How many moms do you know that get stressed and start yelling at their kids? I'll wait. A lot, bro. I told you, don't touch that. Right? Who talked to her that way? And why can't you say it clearly? What are you under? You're under caffeine. You're under stress. You're under a time limit. Why are you yelling at your children, right? Like, why are you acting the way that you are? And that's the biggest step that I had to learn is, why am I acting the way that I'm acting? Why are my response rates to constructive criticism so negative? I couldn't handle it. I'm like, you realize how hard I'm working on my things, like to be perfect, to be this thing that you don't respect or appreciate at the end. It's like, bitch, don't you see what I went through? Like Dr. Shafali said, I made you asked for acai bowl. I looked it up on the internet. I blended it all together. I even fanned out the fruit, and you went like, doesn't taste the same as the other spot. And you're like, you little bitch. She was like, gonna fucking threw it straight in the trash, right? Like, boom, you disrespected me, all this effort that I gave you. And she was just like, Mom, it just doesn't taste the same as the other place. It's not worth throwing it away, all that fruit, all that effort, all that money, right out the window, because we're emotional. And that's all it takes, is that you can go through your normal life looking pretty perfect and convincing everybody that you're nice, to one time. That one time where it's not about you and you've been challenged and shit's going down, right? That's going to be the time. It's going to be the most inconvenient time. It's going to be the most important thing to you. And you're going to disrespect somebody, you're going to devalue them, and you're going to give them the riot act like that you believe and sense that they deserve. This is another sick, perverse thing, because like, you did something to me, you hurt my feelings, you're going past my show with another fucking motorcycle, bro. Why shouldn't I fucking just strangle you, knock your fucking head off, and just fucking... Where did that come from? Where did that instant anger, you can see it in me, you can see it in my muscles, I can feel it, like I just want to fucking choke them out, bro. Has anybody else ever been annoyed? Has anybody else in here ever been irritable? Has anybody else ever lost their temper? Welcome to narcissism. Welcome to narcissistic rage, where you've been trying so hard for so long, keeping all this wrapped up and pushed down, and now it explodes. I'm going to play a video for you. I think I need to show this because it was a pretty good example of what we do with our emotions. Right? This thing's not doing what I told it to do. Okay, here we go. I've got no internet connection, but the way, we do our damn thing. Oh, cool. I'm trying to get this going, but the internet's slowing, and you already know. But it was a video of a girl. Why do these things ever not go through? Okay. A real lasting relationship requires a lot of tolerance. Flight tickets, pictures. Where's the video that I sent? I think it's here. YouTube watch. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Can I get some Wi-Fi in here, or can I get a witness? Overcome childhood trauma.
Took the abuse as a child and didn't stand up for yourself, it's not your fault. You are not supposed to defend yourself if you are a child. You are exempt. Exempt from self-defense. And if something happened to you when you were a child, there comes a time where you have to bury that relationship. After a certain age, it is toxic. Even if you had the most evil parent in the world, after a point, it is diminishing returns.
Yeah.
And oftentimes toxic.
I don't even talk to my dad, but he has a power over me at 44.
Ourselves to blame our parents.
My friend dating a guy since she was 19, still mind fucking her.
To yourself is that you have to reparent yourself.
Reparenting
like
myself.
Your parents never
did.
You have to love yourself so much that you have to activate the inner mother, the inner father, and begin reparenting yourself with the new narrative.
That's crazy, bro. Reparenting ourselves, man. Doing the work that they didn't do. Showing ourselves the consideration and the timing. It's a lot of it. It's enough to miss the bus, bro, because we're all in on it. And unfortunately, I don't think that we understand it. And that's why I'm doing the show and letting people into my healing, because I wanted them to see that it's not just me and it's not just them. This is a whole epidemic. It's worse than the other epidemic. This is something that's really fucking up people's heads, and especially mine. But that's not it either. I wanted to. Where's this fucking video? Maybe if I do it this way. Yeah. Let's just look it in the YouTube. Everybody, if you're not already getting on my channel, this thing, I'm pressing the buttons twice already. It's not doing the thing. If you get a chance, you're watching Saints Addiction live right now. So I'm gonna roll this joint. We got about another 13 minutes to go. I want to fucking get her to go. Let's do it. Shall we? Shall we? Let's see. View all shorts. I think it's in my shorts. Come on, history. Come on, watch history. I asked you. There we go. View all. Let's get it going. You'll see there's the shorts. Okay. Shorts, shorts, shorts. Shorts, 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 shorts. Come on, ladies. Show up, show up, show up, show up. Please show up. Please show up. Taking up all the time, Mark, not being prepared, but I thought it was here, and I thought I shared it with my friends, and now I don't see it in the end. Come on, chick. Come on, chick. Come on, come on. There it is. Here's my chick. How to Master Your Emotions. She did that, but it was this other one that I seen. Come on. This is how. Yeah. Okay. Okay. See. There it is. Okay. Emotional trauma. Yeah.
When something traumatic happens that is so big and so painful that you just can't bear to look at it, the only thing you can do is push it down. This way, no one can see it, and as long as you don't think about it, it's gone. So you carry on with life, and it takes everything you have to hold it under the surface. But then, one small thing happens that triggers the memory, and everything comes to the surface, and it's too much pain all at once. So you lock it back up and you push it back down. And this can be the cycle that you have to live through again and again. And many people are so frightened to go to therapy because they think that is what's going to happen. But in reality, here's how it actually happens. We don't overwhelm you with everything. We carefully process the memories and all the emotions that come with it in a way that is safe and at your own pace, so that over time you can heal. I'm a psychologist. Follow for more.
Damn, bro. If that balloon ain't me, I don't know what else is. This super controlled, super perfect, super nice guy. He's the saint. He ain't mean. He ain't about to burst. He doesn't have that anger in him. Well, I have news for you. It's true. This is how narcissists think. Because I was bred to be this way. Best of the best, head of the rest. Super competitive. Gotta have good grades. Gotta look good. Gotta have a job or a sport. That feeling of lack, that void, that I'm not good enough, you know, I'm not getting the action I deserve, or if I'm not feeling a certain type of way, then I'm going to throw a fit. It needs to be that way. I'm going to treat anyone in any which way that I need to win. Push you down, lift me up, look better, act better, get more. You know what it is. Like, everybody's on the fucking score. Everybody's trying to be competitive. Everybody wants to look it. That's why we're on these Instagrams. That's why we're doing these things, and we do them over and over again. Definition of insanity. Hoping different results are going to come in the end, and it doesn't. And then we're mad at people because they don't act the way that we want them to be. Like, how dare you think for yourself? How dare you run off on a motorcycle with somebody else? You're hurting me. You're making me hurt you. Have you ever heard that before? I'm hitting you because you hurt my hand from hitting you, right? Like, what the fuck? Smack you again for hurting my hand for smacking you the first time. What in the fuck? What in the dysfunctional another motorcycle is going on right now? I just want to fucking murder some people, bro. Like, it gets bad. And you can act like you don't have it. You can act like you don't want to choke out your fucking neighbors. You can act like you don't want to fucking smack somebody upside the head when they're acting rude. You can act like all that and then some till you're frustrated, till you're doing the road rage, till you don't have a fucking lighter in the middle of your show and they're still being fucking loud. Yep, that all happens. So you drop the other lighter so you can't seem to keep from getting annoyed from other people. Jesus, this is all live. Come on. But that's how the story goes. You know, if you're fucked up inside, you're always going to do drugs. You're always going to be loud. You're always going to be obnoxious. This is why people don't want to hang out with you. Because you're a fucking narcissist. You start slamming things. You make extra noise. Nobody likes you. You're on fucking drugs. Everybody knows, right? This is the narcissism at hand. This is the broken soul that I see. These people that don't get to see other people when they're hammering at all the fucking times of the night and morning, that they start making bottles and trash because they know I'm on my fucking live. There are so many annoying, bad people out there that they deserve the jail they go to. They deserve the mental hell that they go through because they treat people like shit, constantly yelling at people. It doesn't matter any time of the day. What? Nah, yeah. Just like, dude, what the fuck is going on with you, bro? And you don't see it because you're intimidating everybody. You've harvested an area where you get everybody on drugs or you feel stronger and they look at you like, wow, how do you have so much confidence, right? Like, how did you become so fucking cocky? Years and years of absolute delusion, bro. Years and years of people not challenging them. Years and years of corpses at the feet of us, of people that we destroyed that tried to care for us, be around us. And as soon as they came close to us, what do? We abuse them. We lose them. We discard them before they can discard us. We'll treat them like shit because someone else treated us like shit. Someone else disrespected us when we were fucking kids. Someone else didn't neglected us or smacked us when we really needed love. That's a scary thing. It reminds me of this one time. I don't want to. I forget what the name of the movie. It's not Rounders. What's the movie called? Come on, fucking shit. Let's go. Boiler Room. Yeah, in Boiler Room, Giovanni Ribisi gets in his position and he talks to his father and he's like, I fell, right? Let me show you this. This is what I feel like with my father, Giovanni Ribisi. Yeah, what's the name of the movie? It's called Boiler Room. All right. I want you to see this scene, and his father's supposed to love him extreme, right? His father's supposed to love him the most. I needed you, is what he says, you know? Boiler Room movie. Dad scene. And he talks about this. I'll let you watch it because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, but he talks about this one time. Who's ever had a hard dad? Who's ever had a total dickhead that just rode you into the fucking ground and ground you down till there was nothing left? That's how I end up learning this shit, right? This is how this shit works. You find out later in life just how fucked you are when you're around other people, right? Like, you're going to find out eventually what your attachment style is, what kind of code you learned as a kid. There's like, you know, an obedience code or crack the code. There's going to be some kind of programming that you believed in. This is like the worst joint I've done in a lot of years, bro. Like, come on, man. Let's go. So Giovanni Ribisi is doing his own thing. His dad's chewing him out. And here is the room that's his father's forgiveness. And this is what really makes me feel.
I broke my leg.
I broke
Yes,
my leg.
Seth, I remember you broke your leg. What is it, Seth? What do you want? You were hysterical. I had to get you to stop. My fucking leg was broken. sorry I couldn't
I'm sorry
get
to
the
his
job
father.
that you wanted me to have. But I mean, who gives a shit? Because I'm good at what I do, Dad. I'm good at what I do. And the casino was a fucking business, and I ran it pretty fucking well, Dad. And to think that I closed it for you. Wait. When'd you close it? And then I went after this job because I thought it was what you wanted me to be doing. Seth, wait a second. When did you close it? And I tried to make the changes that you wanted me to do. And I'm leaving JT now. I'm just asking you for this one thing, Dad. Just this one thing, please. Just to help your son. I can't, Seth.
You can't.
I'm sorry.
He can't. He doesn't have it in him. He's never had care. His father never cared. And even with a fucking difficult childhood, even with more fucking motorcycles in the morning coming by, even with the annoying, even with the broken fucking leg, his father didn't fucking care. Neither did mine. And because of that lack of care, I have lack of care for others. This is the mom's a narcissist, and they created another narcissist. And in this, you don't even see me. I'm like all proud and shit. It's from this kind of deep pain. Your whole family could be a narcissist, bro. It's a toxic relationship that breeds competition, it breeds contempt, and it breeds this kind of pain. And that's why I did this morning. I was just like, whoa, no fucking way, man. There's levels to this shit. That these levels are starting to reveal themselves. And if you're starting to hear it and you feel it, you already know too. If you can admit it, that's step 3, man, awareness. If you want to get treatment, that's step 4. Step 5, you're going to have to work on the process. And this is going to be a lifetime process, bro. Like, I don't just get to just go rolling away from it. No, sir, no, ma'am. I got to face it every day like an addict. Go to meetings, slapping hoes, making noise on the other sideline in the back of my show. Try not to beat up people. Try not to beat them up with my intimidation and my muscles and my mind. It's going to be my whole life. And that triggered me. That was my childhood. So anybody else wants to know pain, you see it in Giovanni's Ribisi's face. You want approval so bad, you want to fill the void. Daddy, just please love me. I think I got daddy issues. Odds are you probably have daddy issues too. That's why I smoke weed. Welcome to Saints Addiction. I'm on a mission to end my narcissism. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm that kind of a hard worker. But I also love hard. And maybe that tough love didn't work for me, and maybe it made me the way that I am. But know that you can get through it. We all do. This too shall pass, and I hope that you pass in these moments too. I hope that you get past these moments. I hope that you make it in your life. I hope you get exactly what you want out of life because you put it out there. You put in the intentions, you put out the vibration, you put out the energy, and it'll come back. So I'm going to sit here and meditate while I levitate. This is the morning motivation. If you got anything out of this, please like, share, and subscribe below. But mostly comment, man. What the fuck have you learned? Share with everybody. Or we'll be paying for it, right? Like, learn from me. I'll learn from you. And hopefully we can end this epidemic together because it's everywhere, every fucking time. I'll see you on the other side. Peace. Ciao. Belo. Beijos.